Imagine stepping into a time machine and rolling back millions of years. One minute you're standing on the shores of a ferocious Cretaceous ocean filled with bone-crushing 23-foot cannibalistic sea monsters. The next minute you fast forward to the late Pleistocene, walking along the edge of a deadly ancient watering hole where 14-foot land titans and razor-sharp saber-toothed cats cross paths in a high-stakes struggle for survival. What if I told you that you could experience both of these prehistoric worlds in a single day, right here in the heart of Texas? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Dino Man Podcast, episode number 30. I'm your host, Tyler Williams, and today we are going on an epic dual-era field trip. Early Saturday morning, I hopped on a sleek luxury coach with the Dallas Paleontological Society for a member-exclusive road trip down to Waco, Texas. We hit two world-class sites to see how the state's ancient oceans stack up directly against its frozen Ice Age savannas. If you've been following the channel since episode 8, you already know how much I love a good mammoth story. But today, we're looking at things through a brand new lens, with behind-the-scenes laboratory access and a dive into an active, unfolding scientific mystery. Let's get into it. Our first stop of the morning was the Mayborn Museum complex on the Baylor University campus. Right out front, you're greeted by a massive plaza featuring a family of bronze Columbian mammoths, but our immediate mission was tucked inside the temporary galleries. We were there to see the Smithsonian's incredible traveling exhibition, See Monsters Unearthed. Before we even made it to the temporary hall, we ran into an iconic face, Stan the Tyrannosaurus Rex towering over the main rotunda. This spectacular cast is actually on loan from our very own Perot Museum of Nature and Science in Dallas, serving as the perfect prehistoric bridge for our road trip. Once inside the main exhibition hall, we explored See Monsters Unearthed. This collection focuses on groundbreaking excavations along the rugged coast of West Africa, tracking how ancient marine reptiles invaded the newly forming South Atlantic Ocean over 72 million years ago. The coolest part of the morning? Dr. Michael Polcyn from SMU was right there hanging out with our group, talking to everyone about the displays and sharing first-hand insights into the incredible African field operations he helped lead.
One locality primarily, and a couple of pieces from the second locality. So this is all of our work, but what's in here is representing part of our work in Angola.
Dr. Polcyn pointed us directly toward the absolute star of the traveling exhibit, a massive 23-foot mosasaur named Prognathodon kianda. What makes this exact specimen legendary is its last meal. Preserved right inside its gut matrix are the fossilized bones of 3 smaller mosasaurs, providing scientists with the definitive first concrete evidence of full-on mosasaur cannibalism in deep time. After that, we checked out the Mayborn's permanent Cretaceous sea room to see how the local neighborhood compared. Looming directly overhead is the massive life-sized recreation of Brachauchenius, a fearsome short-necked pliosaur that ruled the deep waters covering Texas over 90 million years ago. With the sea monsters behind us, we loaded back onto the coach and made the quick drive over to the Waco Mammoth National Monument. Stepping off the bus and into the shade of the park's entry pavilion, we were officially stepping into the Ice Age. Before heading down to the bones, the rangers had an incredible hands-on station set up where you can get up close with casts of the native predators that stalked the area, including the heavy-jawed dire wolf, the iconic saber-toothed cat, and the towering giant short-faced bear, the largest land carnivore in North America during the Ice Age. You can even handle a massive real-scale replica of a mammoth rib bone to feel the sheer anatomical scale of these creatures. One of the biggest takeaways the rangers highlight right out of the gate is that the giants found here aren't woolly mammoths. As we talked about back in episode 29, those were smaller, shaggy northern cousins built for the Arctic tundra. Texas was ruled by the Columbian mammoth, a massive, relatively hairless species that stood a towering 14 feet tall at the shoulder and tipped the scales at 20,000 pounds. That makes them significantly larger than both a woolly mammoth and a modern African elephant. a point beautifully illustrated by the massive wall mural inside the shelter lobby. Walking out onto the elevated boardwalk inside the climate-controlled dig shelter, you look straight down into an active in-situ excavation bed. Right below us was Mammoth Q, a massive adult male with an incredible sweeping set of tusks, lying right alongside a juvenile. Now, if you remember a deep dive back in episode 8, you know this site houses the only recorded nursery herd of Ice Age mammoths on Earth. But since my last visit 3 years ago in October 2023, the scientific consensus here has continued to evolve. What was once thought to be a single massive catastrophic flash flood is now understood by researchers to be a complex series of separate environmental events over time. A dynamic ancient crossroads where animals returned across thousands of years. If you scan the matrix closely, you'll spot a marker for a western camel embedded in the dirt, and right on the trench walls, there's a fascinating stratigraphic marker pointing out an ancient hoofed mammal rib right next to a juvenile saber-toothed cat tooth. The rangers said they aren't completely sure yet if it belongs to Smilodon or Homotherium, the scimitar-toothed cat. If it's Homotherium, that is a huge deal because scimitar cats are famous for being highly specialized juvenile mammoth hunters. But the monument isn't just a viewing gallery, it houses an active on-site research laboratory. We got a special peek inside the active preparation lab run by Dr. Dava Butler. Right on the workbench under the LED lights, her team is meticulously piecing back together a prehistoric turtle shell, complete with 3D printed skull models and anatomical reference diagrams. On a nearby whiteboard, lab interns like Juno Jones, who is right there working hard by the project board, are tackling their latest active assignment, processing National Park Service Jacket 73. They are carefully removing dirt and repairing a massive Columbian mammoth ulna, the lower forelimb bone highlighted in red on their chart. Wildly enough, the exact individual this arm bone belonged to is still completely unknown, meaning the puzzle of this ancient nursery herd is actively being solved right before our eyes. And when you step back out to the dig bed, you can see the technical tools of the trade left right in the dirt where the paleontologists work. They have the kneeling pads, the meticulous field notebooks, and interpretive displays showing the hand lenses, seeds from microfossils, and specialized chemical consolidants used to glue crumbling bone together. They even display an original plaster field jacket from the initial 1993 excavations housing a fragmented mammoth shoulder blade, letting you see exactly how these heavy giants are jacketed and pulled from the earth. As we wrapped up our tour, we passed a brilliant informational panel titled Shelter in Place, topped with a bold header that reads, "The Future." Most of the time when major fossils are found, scientists dig them up, wrap them in plaster, and lock them away in a dark museum basement. But Waco did something entirely unique. They engineered a state-of-the-art pavilion directly over the bones so that the public and future generations of paleontologists can continue to study them in their exact natural context. The shelter walls extend deep underground to completely block out external groundwater seepage. The roof has a hidden attic space to prevent temperature shifts, and the boardwalk we walked on is literally suspended from the ceiling so that visitor foot traffic never causes ground vibrations that could fracture the delicate fossils below. It's an incredible intersection of modern engineering protecting ancient history. From the depths of the Cretaceous seas to the active trenches of an Ice Age watering hole, traveling through Waco with the Dallas Paleontological Society proved that Texas history is massive, complex, and still being uncovered right beneath our feet. Now I want to hear from you. If you could add just one of these stops to your ultimate travel bucket list, would you choose to stand over the vertical wall of bones at Dinosaur National Monument, face down the cannibal mosasaurs at the Mayborn, or look down at Mammoth Q in the Waco dig shelter? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, that's it for episode 30. If you enjoyed this road trip recap and want to see more on the scene paleontology adventures, make sure to give this video a like, share it with a fellow fossil nerd, and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to head over to dinomanpodcast.com to grab your official Dino Man brand t-shirt to support the channel and keep these episodes rolling. Thank you so much for listening to Dino Man Podcast. This is your host, Tyler Williams, signing out.